What's going on, guys? My name is Rowan and this is Bigfoot Tactical. The reason that I haven't posted a video for like 3 weeks was because I spent the last two in at the XMC or Extreme Military Challenge in Alabama. So it was a two week long course. I flew down there 2 weeks ago. I showed up there. You had to wear specific attire, black polo and tan pants, and it's just basically it's a military like boot camp style experience. You couldn't have your phone with you or anything that they called contraband, so your wallet, your food, or you couldn't have any food, you couldn't have your phone, anything. They took that away. They locked it in a box. You couldn't have any of it. You had to bring a very specific duffel bag, and you can only bring a certain amount of things that they gave you a list from: socks, underwear, and some hygiene items. Everything else would be tossed. And because I didn't have my phone with me, I couldn't get any like videos or anything like that. But the people who like kind of ran the camp took a lot of videos, and I went through and found the ones that I was in, because they don't really take pictures of individual people. They just take pictures of the group. So I collected some of those, and for graduation, my mom actually flew down and she got the pictures and videos of the graduation. So I'll put that in here too. That was a really, really cool experience. It was not easy at all. It was like really long days and not a lot of food and not a lot of sleep. But my platoon, though, we were the 4th platoon. We actually ended up, so there's competitions for everything. Like you could win the motivation streamer for your guidon. For each platoon had a flag that basically represented the unit and the commanding officer or a drill instructor, because it was run by an actual U.S. Army drill instructors. And the guidon you could win these streamers, they called, or whatever, for the flag by winning certain events. So there was an obstacle course, there was motivation streamers, there was marksmanship, combatives, things like that. Our platoon ended up winning the most streamers. We won marksmanship, we won military combative, which is like wrestling, and you only win by getting a proper choke on them. And then we also won we had like a day where it was a sport day basically, where you did dodgeball, kickball, things like that. We won that too. We won the academic test because there was a book you had to be studying that they called the Smart Book. It's about 50 pages long, and you had to memorize everything in it. I mean, there's a whole creed they need to memorize, all the general orders, the Army's 7 values. Had to all be memorized completely by heart, and you take a test on it towards the end of the training, and we had the highest average. Our platoon did. We had a 90% average. So it was a 50 question test, and I got one question wrong, so I got a 98. But we did pretty good, and because we won the most streamers, we got the coveted honor platoon streamer. So it's a black streamer, and they only give one of those out. It's for whichever platoon was just the best. Whichever platoon worked the hardest, won the most streamers, and that was us, 4th platoon, and we won that fair and square. What else was I gonna say? I'm going to put a bunch of those so like I said, I'm gonna take a bunch of those pictures and videos or whatever and put them on. I'm gonna try and do like a voiceover and kind of explain what happened, and kind of go over what we did each day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that very well, because when you're there, every day kind of just blends into one long, monotone, just thing. But it was very difficult. You woke up at 4 or 5 every morning. Get about an hour and a half of PT, and this is designed to be as realistic. It's a real Army basic training as possible. So like if you were standing at attention and you blinked or looked the wrong way, you'd be doing squats or push-ups for the next 20 minutes. In the pictures and all the stuff that they have online, like there's a Facebook page for it, they make it look very fun, and everyone's looking so happy, but no one was smiling very much. There was a lot of people were crying, a lot of people were missing their parents. The only way to contact the outside world was through mail, and the mail was really delayed. I think it probably had a 5-day delay between when you sent it and when it actually arrived. So parents had to start sending letters to their kids a week before they actually left. I sent 4 letters out, and my parents only got 1 of them. So that's one thing that you should think about if you're going to go to it. So again, this is the Extreme Military Challenge in Battlefield, Alabama. It was about 105 degrees, like all the time, and sun was out constantly. The few times it rained, this concrete on the sidewalk was so hot that the water just evaporated before I could do anything else. And when you arrived on, they call it receiving day, they bust your hair completely off. It's been 2 weeks, so it's growing back now. But you've seen some of the pictures, when you first get there, you're bald. You have no hair at all. There was a lot of things that they did to break you down, like mentally and physically. But there was one of our DIs, our drill instructors. He was a social psychologist, so he would mess with your mind, make you think things that didn't make sense, and he would just screw with your emotions. And he reduced all of us to tears multiple times just using his, he was like a 150 IQ. He was a genius, but he was an evil genius. He made that camp pretty miserable for us. But we had 2 DIs for our platoon, and the other DI, who was a police officer, he was awesome. So there was kind of a good cop, bad cop thing going on. So the social psychologist one would mess with your mind, make you cry, make you down, make you feel like you want to quit. And the other one would bring you up and motivate you. And we as a platoon, we all worked together, and we kind of became just best friends. And through it, I have all our numbers written down, so I'm gonna stay in contact with them after all this. So what I did was, they call it cadet basic training. So the camp has a lot more courses that you can go to other than just what I did. So everyone has to go through basic training to actually become a cadet, they call it cadet, before you can take other courses. There's a medic school, there's an engineering school, they call it CFLIC, Cadet Field Leader course. I wanted to take, though, next summer, is the Ranger School. The Ranger School, you can only get into it by scoring high enough on there's a physical fitness test, and I'm this close to getting the high enough score. I actually work on my push-ups a little bit more, but then I'll be able to get to Ranger School for next summer, and that's a 2-week course as well. But that's not run by drill instructors. That's run by what they call a cadre, where they teach you how to do. They teach you, I guess. Basic training is just teaching you the basics of marching, facing movements, things like that. Just instilling discipline and some of the rules of the place. You don't actually learn a lot of stuff. But these other ones are where you actually start to learn the fun stuff. So I might do a video of that when I do that next summer. But I've talked for long enough. I'm gonna put in a bunch of pictures, and I'll kind of explain what I can, and go through some of the events that we did towards at the end of this video. I'll kind of go through what events we did, like the rappelling and all that stuff. I'll kind of explain what we did and how we did it, and just kind of talk about the whole thing. It was really fun, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video so far.